What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Weapon Collective. As you can see, the background has changed. That's because we are not in the Gat Cave today. We are out in the shop, which means we're probably going to be doing some work on something, which is always a good thing. Before we get into that, I did just want to take the regular moment or two to thank everybody that has commented, liked, shared, and most importantly, subscribed. That does the channel a huge favor. So thank you and keep it up. It would be very much appreciated. Now, what are we talking about today? We're talking about one of my favorite companies, and that is Radian. Radian makes some amazing products, starting with something like this. This is a Radian AX556, the ADAC lower. And these things are just phenomenal little AR pistols. This one is a pistol. This is an 11.5-inch barrel. I have several of these, and I got, I think, almost all of them as build kits. So you get the upper receiver, lower receiver, handguard, and you just assemble it yourself, which is part of the fun. We're not going to go through this whole thing. You've seen how I set my guns up for the most part, I think. This is set up in a similar way. Radian makes an amazing gun. So this is, like I said, the AX556. Love this. But that's not all they make. Some of the parts I'm about to go through are on that gun, and starting with the Radian Talon safety selectors. These are my favorite safety selectors. And then, of course, the Radian Raptor charging handle. This is the SD. My favorite by far, best in the industry, in my opinion. They make things like the Radian compressor, the quick tune guide rod, comes with springs, and you can just get your Glock dialed in. Great little part. One part that I couldn't find, I didn't have in the packaging. I know I have it on some guns, couldn't find those very quickly, but it's the Radian Guardian 6, and it's the shroud for your Trijicon RMR that works with the MOS. Those are very cool. Then we have things like this, the Radian Afterburner and Ramjet combo, so compensator and barrel. And as you can see, these are not in the box because I just picked this up today and put them on this Gen 5 Glock 19. I have a bunch of these Afterburners, but this is the first one I was able to get my hands on in this bronze, which I think looks just fantastic. And if you'll notice, there is one little set screw right here in the compensator, which means you do not need a threaded barrel to install one of these, which is fantastic for someone like me that just makes it easy, or someone out there that may be in a more communist state that doesn't allow threaded barrels. This is a way around that. Like a Shadow Systems, same situation, but these things are so easy. One little tapered set screw in there and you're in business. But that bronze, I think, just looks absolutely phenomenal in this Glock 19 by TMT. Beautiful gun, shoots very well, and I will say these Afterburners are effective. Definitely reducing felt recoil. They work. They don't just look badass, they work. And then some other parts that we're going to be dealing with specifically today are going to be these backstrap and magwell for the P365 and these True 17 base plates for the P365. And then what I've been waiting for quite some time, this was announced at SHOT Show, but the Radian Afterburner for the P365. If you haven't guessed by now, we are going to be installing the Afterburner, the magwell and backstrap, and the base plates today. We're going to make one hell of a badass little P365, so let's get into it. Okay, what do we got here? We are out on the workbench, out in the shop, and we have two firearms. This one is P365 X macro. One little side note here before I get into the name of this thing. I did receive a comment and commenting on my Utah accent, how I say the name of this brand. I say Hollison. Just nice, easy, rolls off the tongue. But for the guy that commented, this is a Holosun. It is a hologram, not a hologram. I don't know. But anyway, this is a Holosun 507K. And then this one is a P365, also with the Holosun 507K. We need to take both of these guns to build the one. So we can set this guy aside momentarily. Let's start with this magazine right here. We have these base plates from Radian. Just got to get that lip in there. And there we go. You can see with that, I had one in there already, so figured I'd just take you through the process, but I have these two. This one's obvious. This one hasn't been used. This one quite a bit, but those are cool little, they're aluminum, nice little base plates. Expect nothing less from Radian, and I'm just messing with that guy about the pronunciation. We actually went back and forth, and it was pretty funny. So I like him. And okay, let's get this pin popped out. But we have this magwell. This is the back strap. And then we have these little Radian spring and detent. And if you're familiar with Radian and you've done anything with their Talon, these should look very familiar to you. Little different shape, but very similar mechanical spring and detent interlock system there to their Radian Talon safety selectors. So we got to put this back strap on. You can see this little notch in here, right here. That is gonna pop it on in the middle and just slide that baby up. Make sure it's fully seated. And then there is a little hole, and that is gonna be for your spring and detent. And then we're just gonna slide this magwell right on here. And that is seated. Now that looks very sharp and it feels great. Like that is a really nice textured back strap on there. I think that combination looks very slick. So we can take this, pop that in there for safekeeping, and stick it somewhere that if I ever need it again, I know where it will be. Now, okay, so now we have things disassembled. And this is that X macro. And this is the 365. They both have the 3.1 inch barrel, but obviously cannot get a compensator from Radian on this one. So we're going to shorten it down to this guy. That little barrel there. And this is the Radian. So it just has that little extension piece on here for the compensator. And then these comps are brilliant. Just no need for a threaded barrel, which is phenomenal. This is the Radian Afterburner. Slide that on, and what a precise, beautiful fit. Drop this tapered set screw right there. And then this is a Torx 10. Cinch that guy down. Then take that X macro frame. Woo! Look at that. And let's pop this light on here too. Just complete the whole thing. So this is a Streamlight TLR7 sub. And look at that. Okay, so that is the gun all buttoned up and finished, and it is dead sexy. It looks so good. I mean, I would like to get it in the bronze eventually, but this dark mode all black looks pretty badass. I definitely can't wait to shoot this gun. Like I said, these compensators work, but I've only shot them on Glocks, 19s and 17s. So it will be interesting to see what it does to a little 3.1 inch barrel that we have in this P365. And once again, this is a P365 X macro grip module with now the Radian backstrap and magwell, and then just a regular P365 slide with the Afterburner and ramjet installed. So this thing is awesome. I will go to the range and make a video about breaking this thing in and getting it dialed. And we'll go from there, see this thing, but I'm very excited to see how it shoots. And I appreciate you tuning in, going through that build process with me. In the real near future, we're gonna be going through, we'll be out here in the shop and we will be building an AR start to finish, strip lower, strip to upper receiver, put every single part of that AR together in one sitting. It will be fun. I love doing it. It is my meditation. I love being out here and building guns. One of my favorite things to do. We will have to get creative, of course, with YouTube's guidelines, but we can always edit around that and find a way to do it. So that'll be coming very soon. Please comment, like, share, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button. It does me a big favor. I'm Jeff for the Weapon Collective, reminding you to keep your weapons collected and keep collecting your weapons. I'll catch you next time.